Here, presenting before you Team DynamicDev. I am Rashmi Chatuvedi along with my team member
Divya Sharma.
from Ganga College of Technology. We have selected the topic DevOps and Docker containers. India is today world's largest country in internet users and sheer population. E-commerce in India has been rapidly growth. But are we using those simple traditional technologies and we are saying that the process is of continuous integration and continuous deployment? No. Let us become aware of DevOps and Docker techniques. Despite these demographics in India, the penetration of e-commerce in India has been rapidly slow. Many surveys believe that e-commerce has even failed in India. What can be the reason of it? Yes, the best example which we can see will be through Flipkart failure on Big Billion Day in the year 2014. Despite of using thousands of servers, they were heavy load and heavy crowd which they collected through the massive marketing campaign. They were not ready for estimating these server loads, unpredictable technologies, and the poor bugs and many lines of code. They were an automatic system to handle this database load. So this process of backend is highly difficult to be maintained regarding the latest information again and again because of volume of data. There is no automatic process to handle this database. For customer satisfaction and automation and very rapid growth of e-commerce in India, we require to use DevOps driven technical and business process in order to develop their software products. Combination of microservices and DevOps proves to be very functional package for enterprises. Now, let us create a win-win situation and world a connected capitalism.
So, for achieving this benefit, first we need to set up our environment from which we have all these technology which will simplify our web applications and the other softwares. So, let me just give you the in order to customize this pipeline for our project, we have set up the requirement environment. So let me just give you the preview of all the technology that we use. The first technology which we used is Ansible. So Ansible is used for configuring and managing software on the remote system which provide automation. It can monitor or manage number of servers from the single machine. Ansible can model containers and non-containers at the same time. The second is Docker. Docker is tool designed to make it easier to create, deploy, and run application by using containers. Containers allow a developer to package up an application with all the parts it needs, such as libraries and other dependencies, and ship it all out as one package. Next is Jenkins. Jenkins is a widely used tool for continuous integration and automation, easy to learn and implement. Next is Kubernetes. Kubernetes in a continuous integration and continuous deployment workflow is great for handling DevOps in an organization. It allows the entire process from prototyping to the final release to be completed in rapid succession. All is done while maintaining the scalability and reliability of the software production environment. So, Kubernetes is able to effectively increase the agility of the DevOps process. The next is Tomcat. So, for this all environment, we need a server. The server which we used is Tomcat. Apache Tomcat is an open source web server and servlet container developed by Apache Software Foundation. Tomcat implements the Java servlet and the Java server pages specification from Oracle and provide a pure Java HTTP web server. So, let me just give you a brief architecture of these technologies, the way in which they are connected. So, we uh, we through Git we continuously build our code, and through Jenkins we continuously deliver it to Ansible, and Ansible is connected is the top layer of Kubernetes and Docker, from which Kubernetes is doing Docker image pull and push with making a cluster. So for that, it created a master node and the worker node. Okay, so let me just also give you the basic steps to how to set up this environment. So for that, let me first tell you about the Ansible. So for the first very important step is you should always have docker.py Python module installed on Docker host so that Ansible can work with Docker. So there are only four steps of it. The first is pull a consensus image, create a custom image, create a container, and validate a deployment. So this is the steps for only setting up the Ansible. The second one is to connect Ansible with the Docker, okay, which are in the Ansible folder. The next step which I am telling you is the Docker. So the Docker Hub, Docker Amount README file is about the basic commands that how to search image and all. You can preview it in our link. I'm just telling you the basic step. The first step is create a basic container and inspect images. All of this, all further detail in this the README file. The third one is inspect container, start the container, modify the running container, create an image from a container, tag the image, and create images with tags. Okay, so now let me tell you how we set the pipelines through Jenkins. The step is we first set up the server, configure the file access, copy the Docker automation script, set up Jenkins, set up the pipelines, configure the deployment zone, and at the last, we test the pipelines. Okay. Uh, so uh, now let me tell you what is this Maven file is. Maven is a tool that can be used for building and managing any Java-based project. Maven is automatic dependency management tool. It is easy to migrate for new feature of Maven using the metadata. It can generate PDF or website. One big advantage is parallel width. Okay. So now let me give you the how to make cluster from Docker image. So the first step is the step one is display Linux and configure firewall rules on both the nodes, which is master node and the worker node, which we tell you in the edit architecture. The second one is configure Kubernetes repositories on both worker nodes and the master nodes. Install, in the third step, you need to install Docker packages on both the nodes. Now join worker nodes to the master nodes. Okay, so this is all the main technologies or steps overview. Now let us take you, Rashmi will tell you about our website which we joined to this environment.
Now we have taken a simple web application where we have set it up these all environments, and now we are using it in a simple e-commerce website, which is a handbag website. As we know, the reason of us choosing this e-commerce website is we know that heavy crowd and continuous integration, continuous deployment process emerges in e-commerce websites only. In this website, we have used microservices. But what about microservices? Should we use it? Yes, of course. Microservices are an architecture style for web application where the functionality is divided up across small web services. What happens after using these microservices? Even if your web application is going to have heavy crowd, we can manage, as they were told, we can manage it through Dockers now. We can automate the process through Kubernetes, and for the continuous integration and setting up the environment, as we saw the previous installation process, we use those all processes. in this InfraMind competition, as we have to construct infrastructure. So infrastructure we are providing through DevOps and Docker techniques. Microservices, coming back to microservices, service do not need to be share any of their codes implementation with other services. The fast and iterative agile development process used in DevOps focuses on faster delivery of new products features with low complexity to manage. The changes are entirely responsive to market needs. This is especially critical for e-commerce companies struggling to find right direction in prevalent midset of uncertainty. The concept of continuous everything, continuous integration, testing, deployment, delivery, and release promises unpredictable values for e-commerce business. The DevOps approach of continuous evaluation through smart automation practice and cultural shift empowers e-commerce companies to achieve the goals and make the most of the changing online business landscape. Now, let us see what these microservices actually do. This is a shopping cart microservices. Let's browse through some products. Now, let's try to buy this product. Which microservices you are using? It will direct us to the cart services. Added in the cart already. Let's go to the checkout. So here, let's go to proceed to the checkout. Moving, let's fill some information over here as I am filling Rashmi, last name Chatuvedi, business company. Let's take Ganga of course. Streak display. It's in Wagi Hills. City Jabalpur. Jabalpur. Of course in India. Is it required? Yes, it is required. Let's fill it out. Madhya Pradesh. Postal address. I'm taking here for it. It is redirecting us to somewhere. No. Stop. 4823. Email address. RC198. Is again and again processing or request automatic save process must be there. At gmail.com. And my phone number. Now we are proceeding to, we don't want to create environment. Now proceed to the next service, that will be the payment gateway microservices. This microservices enable you to automatically pay your services. You don't need to get codes from somewhere and integrate in your own codes. You just simply have to use this microservices, which is creating DevOps and Dockers a better technique. So in the conclusion, I would only like to say, using DevOps and Docker techniques, we are continuously automating this process. And about the cost process, I can say since we are using microservices, there are no chance of code dependencies. Using Dockers, we are getting all these dependencies and configuration automatically set up. DevOps is the new way of creating this e-commerce websites and managing our web application. Let us use DevOps and Dockers. Thank you.